Mikey, welcome to the family.
Have you ever wanted to see Feach Lamanna, Richie Aprile, Carmine Lupertazzi, Paulie Walnuts, and Sonny from A Bronx Tale fighting a vampire? A sexy, naked French vampire? Well, boy do I have a film for you. Innocent Blood is a 1992 black comedy film about a vampire who finds herself pitted against a gang of mobsters. The film stars a bunch of faces you'll recognize from The Sopranos, as well as other notable actors like Anthony LaPaglia, Angela Bassett, Luis Guzman, and even Don Rickles. If you're a fan of my channel, you'll know that I like to review weird pieces of Sopranos-related media for April Fools every year. Special thanks to viewer Sidewinder714 who brought this strange, awful film to my attention. Even setting aside the Sopranos connection, the story is incoherent, the performances are wooden, and the tone ranges from corny to awkwardly erotic. It's the perfect movie to cover for my April Fool's tradition. So let's take a look at this piece of shit about vampire gangsters.
That's what this is, you know. Satanic black magic. Sick shit.
The movie opens with Marie, a vampire living in Pittsburgh. She has a moral rule that she won't feed on the blood of the innocent. After reading about the ongoing gang war in the city, she decides to target the mafiosos as her next meal.
It was time to treat myself. And I thought, what about Italian?
We're then introduced to Joey Gennaro, an associate of the brutal mob boss, Sal the Shark Michelli. Joey hesitates to shoot when ordered, and his friend Tony warns him that they have to do whatever Sal orders them to. Joey then bumps into Marie on the street, and there's an immediate attraction. She considers eating him, but sees that he has innocent eyes and leaves him be. Instead, she goes for Tony, seducing him into driving somewhere secluded for sex. She then reveals that she's a vampire, with a very cheesy effect. After feasting, she blows Tony's head off with a shotgun, both to cover up her bite marks and to make sure that he doesn't rise again as a vampire. The next day, the police discover the body, and it's revealed that Joey is actually an undercover cop trying to infiltrate the Michelli family. After being photographed at the crime scene, Joey's cover is blown and he's pulled from his assignment. The next night, Marie goes after Sal. She again seduces him, and he brings her back to his place for dinner. She plans to attack him, but he pulls out garlic mussels, which make her sick. She attempts to escape from the bathroom, but finds it locked. Sal then attempts to rape her, but she bites his neck and drains his blood. However, she's interrupted from finishing the job by one of Sal's goons and is forced to flee. Sal is pronounced dead and taken to the morgue. However, once there, he wakes up, and in a confused state, he escapes, alerting the media in the process. He goes to his lawyer's house, and after drinking his lawyer's blood, is healed and feels stronger than ever. Meanwhile, after learning about Sal's death, Joey investigates the scene and sees a trail of blood leading to the church. There he finds Marie, and after a chase, she demands that he take her to Sal so that she could finish the job. They go to the lawyer's house, but Joey is captured by the gangsters. They then take him to the docks to kill him, but he's saved by Marie. She manages to kill some of his men, but Sal escapes. Marie and Joey attempt to pursue him, but the sun comes up and Marie is forced to retreat indoors to a motel. Sal hides in a meat factory that he owns. At the motel, Marie and Joey confess their feelings for each other and have some pretty graphic sex. The next night, Sal goes to a nightclub he owns and announces his plan to rule the city using his new vampire powers.
You're gonna be made men, but when you're made by me, nobody can touch you.
He begins transforming his men, who each become vampires in turn. Joey and Marie track him down and end up taking out his goons by shooting them in the head. This leads to a big fight outside where Sal is lit on fire and eventually shot in the head too. With Sal gone, Marie considers letting the sunlight kill her because she's tired of being a monster, but Joey tells her that he loves her. They go inside to another hotel, and Marie decides to live. And as the movie ends, we get this weird upbeat credit sequence. The film was directed by John Landis, most known for directing films like The Blues Brothers and American Werewolf in London, and also for killing 3 people while filming the Twilight Zone movie. While Landis was given a lot of freedom for this film, the movie ended up being a flop, earning only around $5 million on a $20 million budget. To sum up the flaws of the movie, I think Roger Ebert said it best when he reviewed the film.
Non-stop roller coaster of chills, thrills, spills, and kills. And that chase at the end, my friend? Mwah!
Are you nuts? That movie stinks like your creepy one-bedroom apartment.
Your mother didn't think it was so creepy.
My mother, real mature. I'm sick of your grade school
I love watching a bald guy argue with a fat tub of lard.
Actually, he called the film an uncomfortable marriage of vampires and mobsters that doesn't work on either the supernatural or the criminal level. He also said that the climax was an exercise in missed opportunities, and I agree. Tonally, the movie is weird. Sure, you've got Robert Loggia hamming it up as a goofy vampire mob boss, but you've also got brutal murder and attempted rape. Plus, you have some really gratuitous nudity. Like, you see full bush in this film, and I'm not sure why. Am I supposed to be turned on while watching this, or be laughing at the corny jokes? The film doesn't really know what it wants to be.
Girls look good enough to eat.
Really, the only reason anyone would be interested in this movie nowadays is the Sopranos related cast. I only noticed this as of writing the script, but they even got the guy who played Junior in the flashback episodes. Unfortunately though, only Robert Loggia really gets to give a performance, and he's actually probably the best of the film. But all the other Sopranos actors barely get any screen time. Tony Sirico is even killed before he gets to become a vampire, which really sucks as he already looks like the perfect Dracula.
3 fabulous flyers! No offense, but you ever had yourself checked for Tourette's? What? Tourette's syndrome. Seriously. Hey, you gotta take or something.
However, the biggest problem the film has is the pacing, which really ruins any kind of investment you might actually have in the action. The scene where Sal rises from the dead, for example, drags on forever, and it's played more for laughs than being a serious supernatural event.
Stop him! You stop him!
This really hurts the film, as it's hard to take the threat of a vampire mafia seriously. Sal only comes up with the plan in the final 20 minutes of the movie, and right after creating the vampires, they're instantly killed by Joey and Marie. The fact that they just shoot him in the head is also really lame. I mean, they build up this big climax with Sal being lit on fire and surviving, only to undercut it by having them literally just shoot him dead in an instant.
I am not Jelly!
The fact that Joey was an undercover cop is also really underutilized. They reveal it in his second scene, and he's immediately outed publicly as a cop. I don't even know why they included this detail if they weren't going to do anything with it. You'd think that having him be undercover when Sal becomes a vampire would be interesting. He could witness his transformation, but when he tries to tell the cops, they wouldn't believe something so outlandish, forcing him to work with Marie to take him down. It would have been good for building tension, but instead it's just another wasted opportunity. There's also a lot of weird sexuality in the film. I get that's pretty much part of the vampire genre at this point, but here it comes off as awkward and a little gross. The BDSM sex scene between Marie and Joey just feels gratuitous, primarily because we don't ever get a reason for why they like each other, other than the sex appeal, of course.
Face it, you trust me. At least, partially.
Overall, Innocent Blood is not a good film. It's in this weird spot between comedy and serious action. But if you're interested in seeing some Sopranos faces before they got onto the show, check it out. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this April Fool's video, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. Speaking of blood-sucking, it's time for a Patreon shoutout. Matt Joyce, Uncle Mike, Sam Searland, Celery Man, Countess von Zarevich, and Admiral.